Hello, I'm Lake Ray. I've had the opportunity to serve you in a number of different capacities in the past, and certainly over the last few years, my position as being a state representative for District 17 originally, and now District 12, I've served you for the last 6 years in Tallahassee. It's been my honor to serve you and to take forward issues that I think are important to you and to me as members of the community as a whole. And those issues are about jobs, it's about economic development, it's about sound, true government, back to the Constitution, the issues that are important to us, controlling government, letting it not get out of control. During this time, we've had the opportunity to look at different things, put forward balanced budgets, control the growth of government, and look at how we've been able to streamline various issues that are out there for regulatory process. It's been my honor to serve. It's been my pleasure to meet a number of you. I look forward to this campaign as we move forward and discussing the issues that are important to you. I know we're about to get into a series of different questions, of which are very important to me. Many of those have been issues that were taken up in the legislature. Many of them are issues that we can't resolve at the legislature, but we need to make a statement to Washington, a statement to those who want to grow government, and say this is not how we're supposed to be. It's not good for our economy, it's not good for us, and it's certainly not good for where we want to be in our future. I look forward to those questions, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Do you favor or oppose implementing the Convention of States Amendment, and why?
I am certainly in favor. I'm a total proponent of calling for a convention of the states. It's an Article 5 issue in the Constitution. I had the chance this past year in the legislature to vote to support the call for the state of Florida to attend the state conference. You might be interested in knowing one of the things that we have available to us that we're working on, and that is that we have a operating work group. It's not a full caucus yet, and there's about 22 of our members in the legislature that are working on that. I'm a member of that work group that's looking on how we would set the groundwork for a convention. We want to make sure that it is not Washington that puts the plans together and how we would have a convention. We want to make sure that the process is driven by the states and not by those that are in Washington, who we're striving through this process to put guidelines on them and make them obey the Constitution as it was originally written.
Do you support or oppose providing non-life-threatening aid to illegal immigrants funded by taxes and fees imposed on Floridians?
I oppose tax dollars, whether those are state dollars, whether they be federal dollars or local dollars. I would oppose any dollars being taken from citizens of the United States being put towards illegal immigrants in their support. I'm not quite sure what people don't understand about the term illegal. This past year I had the opportunity to vote against a bill that I believe that we should not have supported. It did pass out of the legislature, and that bill was one that would have actually funded in-state tuitions for illegal immigrants. The only good thing that I can say about that is that there were some guidelines that were put on there that made it a little bit more restrictive, but I voted against that bill because I do not think it's in the best interest of us as citizens of the state of Florida to encourage in any capacity illegal immigration. And I believe that as a state we need to be engaged in working to stop illegal immigration, encourage proper immigration. We all know immigrants. We all believe that there's a process by which that they should come to our country, and we invite them to come to our country to embrace who we are as a people, not to walk across our borders and tell us that we're doing something wrong.
The right to life issue is being fought in state legislators across the country. What is your position on this issue?
I've had the pleasure on a number of different occasions to engage in those issues in the state legislature. I will continue to support legislation that opposes various abortion practices here in the state. This is still considered a state issue, although many of these states that have passed initiatives have had these bounce back into federal courts. I oppose a court system that is overthrowing these initiatives that are being driven by the states, and I continue to support pro-life positions. This past year I had the opportunity to support one that, in my opinion, should have been unconscionable to have not been passed, but it did pass, but didn't get through the entire legislative process, and that was one that pregnancy over the second trimester would be prevented, except and only except in the case of true life-threatening situations for the mother. Otherwise, that initiative needs to come back. It needs to be passed. Certainly, because when you're in the third trimester, a child is viable on its own. But all initiatives I have supported, and I look forward to supporting in the future.
Where do you stand on Common Core curriculum and the issue of data mining over 400 data points on our children and the loss of privacy on this data?
What don't we understand about the federal government continuing to reach into our school system? First, I don't understand and see anywhere in the Constitution that was given to the federal government to set standards. I think that if we look back and understand that education should be driven by the state and not by the federal government, we start there. Therefore, opposing Common Core is something that I stand by. In terms of mining data and gathering more and more information of us on individuals, on our children, and ultimately back to you and I as citizens, I think that this is extraordinarily wrong. We've seen this intrusive government. We know that they're collecting information through the NSA, through our internet processes in various different forms by which they're collecting information on us. This is wrong, it is unconstitutional, and it needs to be stopped and opposed at every opportunity that we get. I would continue to oppose that at the state level, and would seek that we do everything that we can to stop that at the federal level.
There are numerous records and reports of American history rewritten in Florida textbooks. Have you reviewed these examples, and what will you do to ensure the accuracy of the historical textbooks?
Most of my activity in the state legislature has been more focused on jobs and economic development. I have not been engaged in the education committees in the legislative process. That is because we've got a number of other good members that are there. So I haven't read any of those specific books or text that you're referring to. I am aware of those. I encourage our members, and I work at the committee level that I have the capability to influence to ensure that true history is put forward. I think it's unconscionable that we have textbooks that are in there that are at best no longer a part of what was the true history of this country. And it is important for us to ensure that our young people are taught the true history of the United States. It doesn't mean that it's all good, because there were certainly some things that we've done in the past as individuals that were things that we wish that we hadn't. But the reality is that we're a great nation. We're a nation under God, and we're a nation that is committed to doing good things. That's why we've been a blessed nation and a prosperous nation, because we have had and have been a good people. We continue to be a good people, and we need to encourage our young people to look at and to know who we have been and what foundation that we're set on, so that as we look into the future, we will return to that foundation and move forward with the true knowledge of who we are as a people. In doing so, we will set a path for recreating the United States as we knew it, and establish that as one that will be that shining light on a hill, as Ronald Reagan once said.
Thank you, Mr. Ray. Do you have any closing comments?
I want to thank you again for the opportunity to come over and share a few minutes with you. If there's any time that I can be of service to you, please don't ever hesitate to reach out to me. I can be reached, and I don't mind giving you my direct cell phone number. It is 904-534-0075. I look forward to continuing to serve you, taking those issues that are important to you and important to me and important to the future of our country, and work at the state level and work in every capacity, taking forward a message that is important for us. And that message is we're a great nation because we have a great Constitution and we're a good people. and let's work to make us a united people, not a divided people, and take our future back and take all of those initiatives that are important to us to Tallahassee, be that voice, and to continue to work. Thank you again for your time and your commitment to improving our government.